Welcome to Here Comes the Boom, your go-to for all Kentucky basketball recruiting news, brought to you by KSR and KSR Plus. Before we get into it, be sure to go and subscribe to KSR Plus, subscribe to the KSR YouTube channel. We've got a good show for you today, a lot to talk about. Let's start with the big news of the day. Baba Oladotunn reclassifying from the 2027 class to the 2026 class. This is a move that's been rumored for a long time, but now it's official. He was a top 3 player in the 2027 class. Now he's moved down in the rankings, just being a year younger than most guys, being number 7 in the Rivals industry ranking, number 13 in the Rivals rankings, but still a 5-star prospect in the class and someone that Kentucky's prioritizing in the 2026 class now. They offered him in September. He was the first 2027 prospect that Kentucky offered. And I talked to his dad earlier today, right after he announced that news to reclassify. You can find that story over on KSR Plus. And just to talk a little bit about what's next for him, he mentioned some dates. Nothing's been locked in yet, but they're looking at visiting Maryland on September 13th and Gonzaga on October 3rd. Those are just some potential visit dates, nothing confirmed yet. And then Kentucky is another school. He said they 100% plan on visiting Kentucky. Jason Hart's leading the charge for Kentucky there, but Mark Pope was at basically all of Baba's games at Peach Jam and has continued to make him a priority no matter the class. So he's one to watch now as Kentucky sets official visits. He could be a player that gets an official visit to Kentucky in the fall. So let's talk about some of the guys Kentucky is getting on campus this fall. They have a lot of new visits set, 4 new visits set in the last week, I believe. You got Cole Clower, Anthony Thompson, Arafan Diani, and Josh Irving, 4 players that have set official visits to Kentucky. Now, here's the full official visit schedule as things stand. Sion Kita, he's already visited July 30th, and then a full list of visits coming up, starting with Caleb Holt and finishing with Big Blue Madness, Josh Irving, and Jordan Smith Jr. A lot of good players. Let's start with Cole Clower, 6'7" small forward out of IMG Academy, but he's originally from North Carolina. He set a bunch of visits for the fall. He'll be visiting NC State, Florida, North Carolina, Alabama, UConn, and Arkansas. So he's got a lot of schools on him. Then you got Anthony Thompson, who he recently cut his list. He scheduled some official visits. He's taken official visits to North Carolina, Ohio State, Michigan, Indiana, Texas, and Kentucky. I've heard a lot of talk about Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio State as being 3 schools to watch there, but Kentucky is not out of the running. They'll get him up for an official visit. He's already been on campus for a couple of official visits. Ethan Taylor's another one who could be setting a visit soon. We've got a list of guys who could set official visits soon, and Ethan Taylor's one that's top of mind. A 7-foot center at a Link Academy, but he might, watching him at Peach Jam, he might be even bigger than 7 feet tall. He could be 7'1", 7'2". He's just a monster out there on the court. A top 25 player in the class. I'm expecting him to set a visit to Kentucky soon. Deron Rippey, he's a player that was supposed to visit last weekend, but due to weather, he was not able to make that trip. I'm expecting him to reschedule that visit at some point, but he also has something like 8 other visits planned. So we'll see when he finds a date for a Kentucky visit. And then we talked about Baba. I'm expecting him to set an official visit, and 2 other players that have offers have not set an official visit yet are Caden Samuels and Maximo Adams. Caden Samuels, he got an offer after the NBPA Top 100 camp. He really impressed Kentucky there. He's got a sister at where she's at Maryland, I want to say. Could be NC State. He's got a sister at NC State, and he's taken an official visit there, but I know Maryland's a school that's been on him. Kentucky's involved. We'll see if he sets an official visit there. I expect most visits to get set pretty soon. And Maximo Adams, we've talked about him before. His older brother played under Mark Pope at BYU, played a couple of games for him. So he has a built-in relationship with Mark Pope and the staff, and he earned an offer after Peach Jam. So that's really the gist of where things are at as far as visits. A lot of visits being set. Expect a lot of commitments to come over the next few months before that early signing period in November. Now we got to talk about the final thought, the guy that I'm sure a lot of you are waiting to hear about, Tyron Stokes. There's not a whole lot new with Stokes, but Kentucky remains in a good position based on all the conversations I'm having and based on basically what everyone is saying on the internet. Kentucky is in a very good spot. I don't like to use the term leader just yet because we're really not he hasn't announced the commitment date yet. We're not near a commitment, but his mother did tell KSR Plus that they are looking to make a decision before the start of the high school season. So 3 new visits coming up: USC, Oregon, and Gonzaga. We'll see when he takes those, and then I would assume he'd be close to decision-making mode. Arkansas is another school that's involved there. He hasn't set a visit there yet, but if he does, I'm expecting them to be heavily involved. So that's really everything that we've seen in Kentucky basketball recruiting over the last week. It is a busy time, so be sure to go and subscribe to KSR Plus, subscribe to the KSR YouTube channel.